Special Grade, the pinnacle of power in the Jujutsu Kaisen world. A level so dangerous, so overwhelming, that only a handful of sorcerers and curses in existence have ever reached it. We're talking about people who can flatten cities, face calamity level threats head on, and still walk away with barely a scratch. In JJK, special grade sorcerers stand on a level far beyond even the elite. But what if we took characters from another legendary world, the world of Naruto, and dropped them into the chaos of Jujutsu Kaisen? Who would rise to the top? Who has the raw talent, curse energy potential, and sheer destructive power to be classified as special grade? Today, we're breaking it all down. From Hokage tier monsters to tailed beast wielders, we're diving into which Naruto characters would earn the coveted title of special grade sorcerer in JJK's brutal and unforgiving world. But before we get into all of that, guys, for me, can you guys drop a like, a comment, hit the noti bell? I'm trying to build a community, so every bit of support goes a long way. But back to the video. Finally, before we dive into which Naruto characters would make the cut, we need to first establish exactly what it means to be special grade in the world of JJK. Throughout the series, only a select few have earned this title. Satoru Gojo, Yuta Akatsuki, Yuki Tsukumo, Suguru Geto, Kinjaku, Ryomen Sukuna, and Hajime Kashimo. All of them absolute monsters in their own right. And in chapter 203, during Kinjaku's fight with Choso, he gives us the clearest definition yet. Do you know what the rank of special grade signifies? The ability to overthrow nations single-handedly. That's the benchmark. Not just raw power, but power on a world-shifting scale. So using that definition, along with a bit of verse equalization to fairly compare how Naruto characters would stack up within JJK's power system, we're going to break down who would realistically earn the title of Special Grade Sorcerer. So let's get the layups out the way. The 6 Otsutsukis, Kaguya, Hagoromo, Hamura, Toneri, Indra, and Ashura. There is nothing more that needs to be said. All 6 of them are inarguably special grade.
No time to read a list. Approved!
Naruto is undoubtedly special grade. If this were Marvel Rivals, he is a DPS, he is a strategist, and he is a tank. There shouldn't be much argument, if any, on Naruto being special grade. Same with Sasuke, especially if he's using his Rinnegan abilities. There's no reason why Naruto and Sasuke both shouldn't be special grade. But now it's time to get controversial. This is the first one y'all might not like, but Sakura is special grade. What? He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm clicking. Shut up, I don't care. She's physically stronger than Naruto and Sasuke, and she can't die. You know Jackpot, Hikari's domain expansion? She basically has that with the 100 healings seal. But guess what? Instead of a 4-minute timeline, you have to kill her 100 times. Not to mention, her medical ninjutsu would essentially just translate to RCT, so she would be a dog at healing too. Not to mention, in her light novel, she fought the Nine Tails, which is a walking nuke. So based off of her strength, the fact that she kinda can't die, and her healing, Sakura is special grade. Go cry.
Approved!
Okay, you don't have to actually kill her 100 times. The 100 healings mark lasts as long as her chakra lasts, but you get the point. Okay, so now it's time to get into all of the Jinchuriki. And I know what you guys are thinking. I know that they're all not perfect Jinchurikis, but I don't think that matters, because in JJK 0, Yuta was already labeled a special grade before he could actually control Rika's power. So we have Yugito, Yagura, Roshi, Han, Udakata, Fu, Gaara, and Killer Bee. So if we're using verse equalization, then the tailed beasts, the literal chakra monsters, would be just curse energy monsters. They would just be like 8 or 9 Rikas walking around. So all of the Jinchuriki are walking nukes. They literally are walking nukes. All of them but Shukaku can shoot tailed beast bombs too. So easily special grade.
Approved!
Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage, is undeniably special grade. He isn't just good at everything, he's great at it. From taijutsu to ninjutsu to senjutsu, his mastery is on another level. His chakra reserves and life force are absolutely monstrous, far beyond even the most legendary shinobi. Just look at the size of his sage art, wood release, true several thousand hands technique. Just look how this Buddha statue compares to the Nine Tails. Oh yeah, it's sitting down. And keep in mind, the Nine Tails itself is a colossal beast. able to crush villages and swat aside entire battalions. Compared to an average ninja, the Nine Tails is a walking natural disaster. So when Hashirama's statue makes even that look small, that should tell you everything. And he also went and caught all of the tailed beasts except for Shukaku, so he's a unit.
Approved.
Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage, is a clear special grade. Not just because of raw power, but because of what he brings to the battlefield. He's a one-man army, a walking problem solver, and the creator of some of the most busted techniques in shinobi history. First off, Tobirama's the greatest jutsu inventor in the series. He created the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the Flying Thunder God, Flying Raijin, and Edo Tensei, arguably the most broken technique in the entire Naruto universe. A sorcerer who can bring the dead back to life permanently and control them with modifications, that alone puts him in special grade territory. His combat intelligence is unmatched. Tobirama's a tactician who can analyze an enemy's technique in seconds and come up with a counter on the spot. In the JJK style world, he's the type who'd instantly figure out the domain expansion's mechanics and break through with pure strategy and cursed technique manipulation. When it comes down to speed, it's blinding. His use of the Flying Thunder God makes him a teleporting assassin. He doesn't just move fast, he thinks fast, making him lethal in both 1v1 and large-scale combat. In his chakra nature, he's a water-style savant, capable of creating massive high-pressure techniques with no water source nearby. That kind of environmental defiance screams special grade. So Tobirama isn't just a powerhouse, he's an innovator, a killer, and a genius rolled into one. If Hashirama is a force of nature, Tobirama is a scalpel that slices through unpredictability. Special grade, no question.
Approved.
Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, isn't just special grade, he's the definition of mastery. Known as a professor, Hiruzen earned this title by mastering every single jutsu in the Hidden Leaf Village. That's not an exaggeration. He literally knew every elemental release and had access to nearly the full arsenal of Konoha's techniques. In JJK terms, this is like a sorcerer who has complete command over multiple curse energy types, can deploy dozens of cursed techniques, and knows the counter to almost anything thrown at him. He's the ultimate toolbox fighter. No matter the scenario, Hiruzen has a technique and the experience to match it. Even in his old age, he was strong enough to go up against two Edo Tensei Hokage, Hashirama and Tobirama, and Orochimaru all at once. Now we do know that Orochimaru didn't have as good of a handle on Edo Tensei as Kabuto, but in the anime, Hiruzen does say that Hashirama and Tobirama are as strong or formidable as he remembers. So I'm gonna go with that their power was comparable to what he remembers just based off of that statement. But he uses the Reaper Death Seal, one of the most terrifying sealing techniques in the entire Naruto world. It's a guaranteed kill technique, something no enemy walks away from. It's a suicide mission, sure, but in a cursed energy system, it's the equivalent of a one-time domain expansion that guarantees mutual death with whoever you're targeting. High risk, infinite reward. And let's not forget Enma, the Monkey King. Hiruzen doesn't just command a beast, he summons a sentient curse tool in the form of an indestructible shape-shifting staff wielded with insane precision. Hiruzen's the kind of sorcerer who doesn't need flash, just sheer knowledge, technique, and execution. He may not be as physically overwhelming as Hashirama, or as fast as Tobirama, but in terms of complete battlefield control, he's unmatched. His only weakness? Time. In Hiruzen's prime, he was arguably the most complete shinobi to ever live.
Approved.
And this should come to no one's surprise, Minato. Minato Namikaze isn't just special grade, he's the kind of threat you don't try to fight, you run. Literally, the mere mention of his presence was enough for enemy nations to issue a flee on sight order. That's not fear, that's respect for instant death. I don't know if you guys are understanding. Enemy nations literally said, yo, this dude is so cracked, if you see him, run! But Minato's an unrivaled master of the Flying Thunder God technique, Flying Raijin. But here's the thing, Minato doesn't just use it, he perfected it. Tobirama laid the foundation, but Minato built a killing machine on top of it, where Tobirama uses a technique for precision strikes like he did where he struck down Izuna. Minato turned it into a full-blown combat style, offense, defense, positioning, and battlefield control all in one. In JJK terms, this would be a curse technique so refined that no one, not even its original creator, can match its user. It's like having an evolved domain expansion that isn't bound by space, allowing him to strike from anywhere at any time. Minato marks kunai, terrain, even his enemies, and with a single thought, he's there. Before they even react, they're done. That's what earned him the nickname the Yellow Flash. He's not just fast, he's instantaneous. What makes him even more dangerous is his battle IQ. He figured out Obito's Kamui, a broken space-time jutsu, in the middle of a fight and countered it perfectly. He sealed the Nine Tails while battling Obito and protecting the village, all while making life or death decisions without hesitation. He also created the Rasengan, one of the most efficient and devastating chakra-based attacks in the shinobi world. And when he was reanimated during the 4th Great Ninja War, he instantly synced with Kurama's chakra because it was revealed that he had like Kurama's eviler side sealed into him, so he's a Jinchuriki, and he was also a perfect sage. So because of all of this, it would be asinine not to have Minato as a special grade.
Approved.
Kabuto isn't just a special grade sorcerer, he's a walking nightmare of experimentation, forbidden techniques, and biological warfare. He's the kind of threat the higher-ups will classify as a global level hazard, unpredictable, unkillable, and evolving. Originally a spy and Orochimaru's right hand, Kabuto starts as just a cunning medical ninja with dangerous potential. But after Orochimaru's fall, Kabuto doesn't just survive, he becomes something worse. He experiments on himself, fuses Orochimaru's DNA, and eventually achieves Sage Mode using DNA of Jugo and the White Snake Sage. This alone puts him in rare company. In JJK terms, Kabuto would be a sorcerer who modified his own body using cursed techniques, cursed spirits, and forbidden rituals. Imagine a special grade sorcerer with unlimited access to corpses, cursed spirits, and enough intellect to rebuild himself into something no one can predict. He is, quite literally, a one-man Kenjaku lab, but more hands-on. No, seriously though, like the same way Kenjaku awakens new sorcerers and brings back older special grade-ish sorcerers in the Culling games, Kabuto essentially does the same thing. Kabuto's mastery of the reanimation jutsu turns him into a global threat. Unlike Orochimaru or Tobirama, Kabuto perfects the technique. He summons and controls an army of dead Kage, Akatsuki members, and legendary shinobi, each one of them individually special grade and all under his command. He can modify their personalities, buff their abilities, and make them immune to traditional sealing unless you know exactly what to do. That's not just summoning, that's mass resurrection of special grade sorcerers as disposable weapons. It's an entire war built from corpses, memory, and cursed science. And then there's his combat skill. In Sage Mode, Kabuto takes on Itachi and EMS Sasuke at the same time and pushes him hard. He's fast, durable, and able to use abilities from multiple bloodlines, including Kimimura's bone techniques, the Sound 5's powers, and more. He's basically a cursed Frankenstein with dozens of techniques absorbed and mastered. He can't be reasoned with, he can't be tracked, and once he enters Sage Mode, he can't be touched without extreme countermeasures. Kabuto's what happens when ambition, genius, and immorality collide. A rogue sorcerer who studied every forbidden art and rewrote the rulebook with blood and science. Special grade, not just by ability, but by the fact that you'd need a team of special grades to even stand a chance. Or Itachi, but like I said at the beginning of the video, the ability to overthrow nations single-handedly. Kabuto's skill set would more than allow him to do that.
Approved.
Okay, so in my book, if you have a Susanoo, you're basically special grade. So let's start with everybody's favorite, Itachi Uchiha. Itachi isn't overwhelming through brute force, he's lethal through precision, control, and intelligence. His Susanoo is equipped with two of the most broken weapons in shinobi history, the Yata Mirror, which blocks any elemental or physical attack, and the Totsuka Blade, which seals anything it pierces in a genjutsu-based permanent illusion. This makes him untouchable on defense and unstoppable on offense. But Itachi doesn't need to rely on the Susanoo. With Tsukiyomi, he can trap your mind in an illusion that warps time itself. And with Amaterasu, he conjures black flames that never extinguish until the target is incinerated. Itachi is a one-man kill squad, able to neutralize almost any opponent before they lift a finger. Even when terminally ill and half-blind, he dismantled Orochimaru and outmaneuvered Sasuke. With full strength, he's a cold, calculated assassin operating at the highest level of shinobi warfare, special grade through sheer control and deadliness. Not to mention aura, and there's 3 moments I'm going to speak about. The first is the fact that Itachi walks with his arm hanging out of his Akatsuki cloak like it's broken or something, like a sling. There's nothing wrong with his arm. Exhibit 2 is when he's fighting Sasuke and he points his fingers up and to the side to show that Sasuke wasn't attacking the real him. That was just crazy. And the last and final one is when they're fighting Kabuto and Itachi's like, every jutsu has a weakness. This jutsu's weakness is my existence. What? Kishimoto, you have a favorite.
Approved.
Madara is the blueprint for a god tier threat. His Susanoo towers over the battlefield and can wipe out entire platoons in a single volley. At full strength, he combines this with the Rinnegan, Wood Style, and the Ten Tails, giving him regeneration, gravitational powers, and elemental mastery. He summoned 2 meteors just to prove a point. Madara can solo armies. He literally did solo the entire platoon that was stationed where he dropped in the 4th grade Shinobi War. He can adapt to any fighting style. He doesn't just overpower enemies, he erases them from the battlefield. Once he enters the fight, entire nations have to restructure their plans. He is violence incarnate, a master strategist with absurd stamina, jutsu variety, and a complex absence of mercy. Special grade because no one man should hold that much power.
Approved.
Obito's power isn't just about what he can do, it's about what you can't. His Kamui makes him completely intangible. You can't touch him, he can appear anywhere, anytime, while absorbing anything into another dimension. It's not just defense, it's untouchability. Later he gains access to a Susanoo and becomes the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Well, Kakashi gains access to his Susanoo, giving him regeneration, truth-seeking orbs, chakra rods, flight, and the ability to cast large-scale genjutsu across the entire world. He's not just dangerous, he's reality warping. Obito is a sorcerer equivalent of a ghost with nukes. He appears, destroys, and vanishes. You can't hit him, trap him, or keep up. He redefines the battlefield into something only he understands. Special grade because he fights on a plane no one else can reach. Not to mention, while Pain had regular shinobi as his 6 paths to pain, Obito, specifically White Mask Obito, had Jinchuriki as his 6 paths to pain.
Approved.
For a brief moment, Kakashi becomes something unreal. With both Mangekyo Sharingan awakened, he gains a perfect Susanoo, enhanced by dual Kamui, able to warp attacks, parts of his body, or even portions of his Susanoo across dimensions. No preparation, no delays, just blink and you're gone dismemberment. He uses it with his natural tactical genius, instantly understanding the battlefield and exploiting every weakness. This version of Kakashi is fully upgraded, equipped with perfected range and melee offense, the best spatial jutsu, and elite level perception. Though temporary, this state shows Kakashi at his absolute peak, efficient, untouchable, and overwhelming. Special grade, not just because of the power, but because he knows exactly how to use it. Not to mention, Kakashi has variety. He is hailed as the copy ninja who knows over 1,000 jutsu. We never see him actually use 1,000 jutsu, but that's besides the point. He knows 1,000 jutsu, and narratively he's held as one of the strongest characters in all of Naruto.
Approved.
Shisui's power lies in influence over the mind itself. His Mangekyo grants him Kodo Matsukami, a genjutsu that implants suggestions so subtly that the victim believes that the idea was their own. It's nearly undetectable, almost unstoppable, and can change the course of history without a single fight. He was considered such a threat, Danzo tore his eye out to keep it from being used. His Susanoo, while not shown in the anime, is lore confirmed to be shown in the Naruto Storm games. It's a giant green avatar with a spiral-shaped lance. Shisui is more mobile, precise, and reactive than most other Uchiha. He's a swift executioner, killing problems before anyone even realizes there is one, especially given his nickname, Shisui of the Body Flicker. Shisui is the definition of subtle power. If you've made it into a fight with him, you've probably already lost. Special grade by influence, not presence, and that might just be even scarier.
Approved.
Jiraiya reaches the level of special grade. Even without Sage Mode, he's a powerhouse, but when he enters Sage Mode, he becomes a natural force of destruction and deception. But what seals his status as special grade? His summonings. Gamabunta, the Chief Toad, is a mountain-sized warrior with a massive blade and water release strong enough to rival Bijou level attacks. Fukasaku and Shima, the two Elder Toads that fuse with him in Sage Mode, act as extra eyes and cast a genjutsu called Frog Song, a sound-based illusion that paralyzes enemies instantly. He also summoned Gamaken and Gamahiro, and other giant toads, each capable of holding off massive threats on their own. These aren't just animals, they're veteran warriors from Mount Miyaboku. When Jiraiya summons, it's not backup, it's a complete power shift. With wide-scale elemental jutsu, sage-enhanced strikes, and battlefield control through terrain, destruction, and illusion, Jiraiya becomes a one-man warfront. Special grade because not only are you not just fighting him, you're fighting a summoned army of nature itself, as well as one of the sharpest minds in the ninja world. Tsunade is easily special grade, for the exact same reasons why Sakura is special grade, aside from fighting the Nine Tails, but she fought Madara. Oh, seriously, like, Sakura and Tsunade are basically the same character in terms of combat ability, only Sakura's stronger. She's just nerf Sakura a little bit, and here we go, we have Tsunade. So easily special grade with flying colors. Now, Orochimaru is a living archive of forbidden jutsu, wrapped in an immortal body and driven by pure obsession. But the horror multiplies when you factor in his summoning, the snakes. He can summon Manda, the boss snake who rivals Gamabunta in size and speed. Manda's so fast and cunning, he can dodge tailed beast attacks, and Orochimaru can control him through force or genjutsu. Orochimaru's 8-headed serpent technique is essentially him transforming into a hydra-like monster, a summon from within himself, rivaling even Susanoo in size. He can summon countless smaller snakes, use hidden shadow snake hands, or even emerge from a snake after death. His body is half laboratory, half summoning scroll. Orochimaru doesn't just call for backup, his summons are extensions of his body, tools, and strategy. Combined with Edo Tensei, he can raise the dead and summon the living all in one battle. That level of combat versatility and unpredictability is beyond any conventional ranking. Special grade because he's not just summoning beasts, he's summoning every era of power into one body. And to cap it off, we already mentioned Edo Tensei, but he's the one that brought the first 4 Hokage back during the war. So imagine you're fighting Orochimaru and then you have to fight Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, and Minato. Yeah, it's GG's. He is special grade. Okay, so we got a lot of the more popular ones out the way, but now it's time to talk about the ones where I think there will be some pushback. This first one, however, there is no pushback. Sasori. Chapter 272 of Naruto, page 14. He tells Granny Chiyo and Sakura that he used secret technique performance of 100 puppets to destroy an entire country. Remember that definition we went over in the beginning of the video? The ability to overthrow nations single-handedly? Well, Sasori literally did that. Deidara is pure destructive potential. An artist and a bomber with deadly chakra clay and a sadistic imagination, Deidara's reach and radius of destruction makes him one of the most terrifying long-range shinobi in all of Naruto. And he captured 2 tailed beasts. He captured the Sobu, the 3 tails, along with Obito. Then he captured Gaara, Shukaku's Jinchuriki. So besides the fact that he assisted in the capture of 2 literal nukes, why is Deidara special grade? His explosive clay can be shaped like birds, spiders, centipedes, or dragons, all loaded with chakra-based detonation power. He molds them with the mouths on his hands, allowing for complex, fast-shaping attack variation. Against Gaara, the Kazekage of the Sand, Deidara flew into enemy territory alone and defeated him on his home turf, bypassing his ultimate defenses and using clay bombs to nearly level parts of the hidden sand village. In his fight with Sasuke, Deidara used C1 bombs for strategic traps, C2 clay dragons that launched guided explosives, and C4 Karura, a microscopic bomb technique that enters your body and destroys you from within. When out of options, Deidara activated C0, his final masterpiece, a 10-kilometer wide suicide bomb. It's essentially a shinobi tactical nuke. Sasuke only survived this thanks to last-second teleportation and plot armor. His aerial mobility makes him incredibly hard to catch. You're not just fighting Deidara, you're fighting gravity, limited range, and a constant threat of an explosion at any time, anywhere. Okay, as for Pain, I don't really think I need to explain why Pain's special grade. You saw the way that he ran down on the Hidden Leaf Village. Not to mention, Nagato has a bunch of summons. He has the ability to pull people's souls out their bodies. And there's 6 of them that have like shared vision with each other. He can absorb jutsu. You destroy one of the Pains, guess what? He can bring it back to life. He can take your soul out your body by touching you. Pain is special grade. And plus, I have Jiraiya and Kakashi as special grade, and he took both of them out. Next, Konan is special grade, and I have one phrase to say to prove that. 600 billion paper bombs. A masterclass Konan put on in prep time would make Batman proud. And the only reason why Obito survived is because he had to go blind in an eye. He had to use Izanagi to survive Konan's wrath. She planned through Kamui, figured out its weakness, set a trap, and like split the ocean floor. And I saw this on Reddit by some guy that's significantly smarter than me, because I'm not doing all this math, that tried to calculate exactly how strong the blast that Konan did to Obito was. So, look.
Approved.
So Kisame is an interesting one. Number 1, he has the nickname the Tailless Tailed Beast. Number 2, he can fuse with his sword Samihara, which is already a sentient sword that actively drains the chakra from any enemy it strikes. Pain had stated that Kisame has the most chakra out of any Akatsuki member. And again, Pain is an Uzumaki, so we already know that they have high chakra levels to begin with. After fusing with his sword, his chakra levels go through the roof, and he really does rival a Jinchuriki in terms of output and chakra levels. He captures the Four Tails basically single-handedly, and we know this because we know he's partners with Itachi, but he tells Itachi that it's easy for him to say, but he probably can't understand not having battled him directly. Meaning, Kisame is the one that did all the work. So for me, the Shark Man Kisame Hoshigaki is 100% special grade. After Obito, Madara, Pain, and Itachi, I think Kisame is the next strongest in the Akatsuki to begin with.
Approved.
For Hidan, you have to seal him. Like, you basically have to seal Hidan, and just attacking him, hurting him isn't really going to do anything. And the fact that if he gets any of your blood, you're kind of cooked. It's GG's. And for Kakuzu, he has 5 hearts, so you kind of got to kill him 5 times. And the fact that he mentioned he fought the first Hokage and lived, I don't know how hard Hashirama was actually fighting, but nonetheless, he fought with the first Hokage, the god of shinobi, and lived. So these two I'm not exactly super confident in compared to the rest of the list, but they can get like the outer edge of special grade, just like Geto when he was in high school with no domain expansion, when he was significantly weaker than all of the other special grades in comparison.
I don't know.
Yo, I don't know why it took me so long to mention this. Might Guy, 2 words, Night Guy, 3 more words, the 8 Gate. Nothing else needs to be said.
Excellent argument. Approved.
So I have A in the 3rd Raikage, mainly because of their lightning chakra mode, because it's somewhat similar to Kashimo, a current special grade. Both of them amplify their base stats, they turn themselves into high speed, high impact brawlers. A uses lightning release chakra mode, which essentially is a full body buff that lets him move at extreme speeds and tank blows that would kill others. Kashimo uses charged curse energy to ionize his body and attacks, making his punches stronger, his strikes faster, sharper, and more devastating. Both of them rely on overwhelming close combat. Neither uses long-range elemental spam or some type of genjutsu, it's pure fast melee destruction. Think of them as tanks with jets. However, Kashimo's technique is more refined and destructive. He can launch electrical blasts, conduct energy through his staff, and eventually release his one-time curse technique in his final form. Kashimo is a bit more thematically tragic. His technique burns through his body, and he can't use it more than once, while A's Lightning Cloak is a sustained mode he can turn on and off. Despite that, based off of the scaling of Naruto and JJK, A is significantly faster than Kashimo, and then the 3rd Raikage is right behind him. I have Mei, the 5th Mizukage, mainly because they were fighting all of the Kage, so Onuki as well. They were all fighting Madara and survived. They each all fought 5 Madara clones and went toe-to-toe with his Susanoo. Also, Onuki and Mu basically have a control-alt-delete. That's what particle style is. It's not gonna damage you, it's gonna get you up out of here. You're seeing God. That, along with his earth style and the fact that he stopped one of the meteors that Madara was dropping, Onuki's a force to be reckoned with, and his master Mu taught him mostly everything that he knows.
Approved!
In Jujutsu Kaisen, the title of special grade isn't just about strength. It's about danger, chaos, a power so overwhelming that traditional rules stop mattering, a threat so unpredictable the only response is containment or elimination. And if the world of Naruto collided with the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, some shinobi wouldn't just adapt, they'd rise to the top of the food chain. Itachi would be feared like Sukuna, his illusions lethal, his presence suffocating. Madara wouldn't be a man, he'd be a natural disaster given form. Hashirama would reshape the battlefield like a domain itself. Obito with Kamui would be untouchable, a specter of death that phases through every defense. Even someone like Nagato, wielding godlike techniques and controlling life and death, or Minato, who turns the battlefield into his personal domain with speed no one can track, would send even special grade sorcerers into panic mode. These aren't just strong characters, they're walking anomalies. The kind of people the Jujutsu world would fear. In a world where curses rule the shadows, these shinobi are the darkness. They wouldn't just be special grade, they'd redefine what it means. But if you guys made it to the end of the video, let me know which ones you guys agreed with, which ones you guys hated. It is what it is. This video was so much fun to make, so please don't take it too serious. Don't get your panties in a bunch in the comments. But let me know what type of videos you guys want to continue to see. Thank you guys for all the support. Until next time, fade to black.